I am Chaplain Kevin Deegan. I am 36 years old, and today's date is August 31st, 2022. And you are?
I'm Roland Summit. I'm 88, just turned 88. I'm a retired community psychiatrist, husband of my beloved Joe Summit, about whom we'll be talking.
How do you and I know each other?
I feel there's a kind of a destiny. Joe had been developing dementia over an 8-year period. She had only lately acknowledged this was happening. Mm-hmm. She hated it because she was unable to perform in all the favorite things she did. And then she had some condition that caused her to faint repeatedly, and finally she fell and broke her left hip. And that led to a chaotic stay in the hospital. She was on hunger strike. Surgery was delayed, and about a week later, she had successful surgery. But in the anteroom, through operating, she drew me down. She was kind of all over the place, irrational, raving. But she drew me down perfectly normally. I don't want to live on as an Alzheimer's. Might not even know you, or I could set the house on fire.
When you say that she was sort of all over the place, was that because of her dementia? Was that because of the fall that she had and the injury to her head? What was the context of that?
Well, as Dr. Komatsu explained, she was dealing with dementia. When she got home and was still out of her head under full-time care, I used to sing love songs to her. And one of them was "Help Me Make It Through the Night," and she said, "Don't sing that anymore," because she didn't want to make it. Dr. Komatsu entered and revolutionized our lifestyle because it allowed us to take Joe's side in helping her achieve her own death. It was a hard position to realize, but it was much better. So she needed a way to go, and that's where you came in.
Before we get there, I know Dr. Komatsu is the one that introduced me to you and to Joe. I'm curious how you met Dr. Komatsu. How did he come onto the scene?
In the terrible chaos of the summer of 2017, everything was totally out of control, and Dr. Komatsu came to the door on referral. As he entered the house, peace came with him. He drew us together to talk with Joe. Joe accepted him. She shared herself with him. Dr. Komatsu gathered us together, 2 or 3 kids and me, said 3 words, which paradoxically were the best in the world. He said, "Joe is dying." That gave us permission then to realize not to sing encouraging songs, not to avoid talk of death. She also recovered from her terrible night terrors when Dr. Komatsu searched for a proper drug, came up with Thorazine, and that allowed her to sleep at night.
Dr. Komatsu said something to the effect of, "I really want to help her. I just need you to go and just listen." You know, if I remember correctly, I think she asked me to promise her that she would be able to pass away soon. And I said, I can't promise you that. That's out of my hands. What happened next was I called Dr. Komatsu, I think on my way home, and he said, "It's time to talk to the rest of the team and to discuss some options for bringing about the greatest amount of comfort for her." He said, "I think what I want to propose to the rest of the team is to do a trial period of palliative sedation." Some caregivers had their reservations, feeling like it wasn't appropriate because there was a concern that palliative sedation would be euthanizing her, that we would do a week of palliative sedation and make sure that she was comfortable throughout. They would have a 24/7 caregiver at her side with the hopes. And then after 7 days, we would be able to then ease her off the medication.
All of a sudden, we all had hope, and we knew how to behave with her. Even before the team arrived, Joe came out all cheerful, perfectly lucid, and she announced, "I've decided I'm going to die on Friday." I was born on Friday. Might as well go out on Friday.
Wow.
She was so happy. And I kind of forgot about that as the week of sedation continued. I was at her bedside at 12:30 on Friday when I heard her last breath. And that's the story.
It was our wish for her to be at peace, and she knew no peace here.